All right, good morning, PTNS Daily Show. Merry Christmas. My name is Alan. I'm the COO of ICE, faculty for the Fitness Athlete Division, here on a Tuesday to talk about some clinical tips. So, won't keep you long. I know you guys are probably opening presents or doing Christmas stuff like that. But just want to talk about a couple quick tips to improve ankle dorsiflexion. So, if you know me at all, you know that I don't have any dorsiflexion. So, we'll assess that here in a second, but I'm always looking for ways to improve my dorsiflexion, different combinations of some things you guys may know, some things you may not know. It's also important for our patients in the clinic, so those folks who present with ankle and foot pain who maybe need some help with their dorsiflexion, thinking of runners with shin splints who need to be taught to run with a soft knee and improve their dorsiflexion, and I'm certainly thinking of our athletes who need a lot of dorsiflexion to help with their different squat patterns, right? So all sorts of different types of squats in fitness: overhead squat, front squat, back squat, clean, snatch, wall balls. The number of squat patterns is endless, so we need a lot of dorsiflexion to be able to sit down into a nice deep squat. We know that's important. We know the Hartman article that we talk about in the fitness athlete side of the company is pretty monumental in showing that the torque that's produced at the hip and back when we don't allow our shins to go over our toes, right? So when we don't allow folks to access their dorsiflexion increases by about 1,000%. So a common cause of low back pain in the squat with a lot of folks is because they're often told not to squat with their knees over their toes. And certainly we rally against that a lot here at ICE. So very important to have a lot of dorsiflexion, whether you're a runner or just having some maybe plantar fasciitis type pain, or you're an athlete who needs to squat. So we're going to go over 6 different drills to improve dorsiflexion this morning. First, we'll start with the wall screening test that we show in the fitness athlete side. So we'll come over to a wall. All right. So this test is really quick and nice, especially in the gym. Certainly you can get your phone and get your goniometer app and measure this if you need an objective measurement. But this is a great screen just to see if somebody's having trouble with dorsiflexion, and you'll see very quickly that I basically have none, although I have more than I did. When I started CrossFit, I had about -4 degrees of dorsiflexion, so I actually had a plantar flexion contracture. It's bilateral. And now I have about +2 degrees, so it's improved some. So have the athlete against the wall, take their shoe off, and then we're going to have them try and look at the closed chain dorsiflexion. So use your hand, good measurement for width away from the wall, and then have them just try to access any closed chain dorsiflexion they have. And there's mine. So there's a lot of gap there, a lot of progress to be made there. So that's a great quick screen just to see if somebody needs help with their dorsiflexion. Certainly we could pop our phone right on the shin there and measure that angle and get an objective measurement. So that's a great quick way to screen dorsiflexion. Let's look at how to improve it. I apologize for moving you all over the gym. So the first one we're going to talk about is eccentric heel raises. So we know isometrics are really great if you're following all the papers from Joe Cook, that isometrics are great to control pain, but we know eccentrics can help with mobility and access and train that full range of motion. So the first thing is just a 2-to-1 heel raise. That's pretty simple. I think we all know that, but we can progress that a lot with the higher box. I like to load folks up a lot with this, 5 to 10 seconds of an eccentric lowering, really focusing on training the full range if their pain and symptoms allow it. So I've got a little 12-inch box here. And just coming up on that box, a little bit of balance, single leg if possible, if their symptoms allow, and then just sinking all the way through the full range of motion there. The key here, you guys can't see me. So the key here is once that person hits the bottom, have them unlock that knee and play with that new dorsiflexion as they stand back up and go back through that process. So all the way here at the bottom, when I've run out of range, bend that knee, access that dorsiflexion, stand back up. If you don't have a box or something like that, 10-pound plates are a great buy. They're pretty cheap for the gym. They will give you a little bit of something to heel raise off of. They're also great for other stuff like plate taps and stuff like that. So I highly recommend a pair of 10-pound bumper plates for the clinic if you don't have them yet. The next one Merry Christmas, guys. I see all you jumping on here. The next one is ankle pails and rails. So if you haven't done these, they're really great. Great sequence to kind of run through. Good warm up too. So move all the way right until your heel is about to come off the ground. You're gonna hang out here for about 2 minutes. I'm not gonna make you do that and watch through this. Once you've hit that 2 minutes, you're gonna try and lift your toes off the ground. If you're truly at end range dorsiflexion, your toes shouldn't go anywhere, right? This should be an isometric contraction. So hold that isometric contraction for 10 seconds, and then relax, and then now push your toes into the ground. Same thing, if you're truly at end range dorsiflexion here, your toes should just go through an isometric contraction. Hold that for 10 seconds, and then you're gonna run back through that sequence again. So once I've held, I'm gonna see if I have any more. Yep, a little bit of creep there. And then I'm gonna hold again, and then go back through those isometrics. So that's ankle pails and rails. That's from the functional range conditioning folks. That's a great warm-up routine for the ankle. This one is a good warm-up too. So the third one we're talking about is goblet squat. Warming up your dorsiflexion and your squat pattern with the goblet squat with a kettlebell. So all you're gonna do, grab your kettlebell, hike it up pretty high, kind of against your chest, and then you're gonna sink into a squat, and then put your elbows on your knees, drive your knees over your toes and out. Feel not only are you sinking deeper into a squat, but you're stretching those ankles out a little bit too. You can hang out here. I love to use this as a warm-up before a day with a lot of squats. And then stand, and then you can go back through that a couple times. Now, my all-time favorite. Mitch showed me this, boy, about 6 months ago. We show it at our course now, the Live Essentials course. It's the one that's probably changed my ankle dorsiflexion the most. So what you need is a really low box. I'm going to use this 12-inch box that we used already. The lower the box, the better. A treatment plinth, a regular chair, just won't get you low enough. You need to be on a low enough box that you can sit in a deep squat and still put some plates on your knees. So this is more of a tissue creep stretch, a long duration stretch. Knees bent, so we're stretching soleus more than gastroc or whatever. But this one will really, really help improve that tight ankle. Probably somebody that's got some soft tissue stuff going on like me. Certainly if you've seen me, my calves are unfortunately massive, so I've got a lot of soft tissue restriction going on. But so grab a low box. The lower the box, the better. I'm going to use this 12-inch plyometric box. I'm going to move the comments. Here, I'm going to use 90 pounds. 90 pounds seems kind of aggressive, but it's what I need to feel a stretch. Some of your folks may be able to get away with less weight than that, but I'm going to throw 90 pounds right on my knees. So here we go. So pull that foot all the way back to the back of the box. Get that weight directly over the knee, and then just ride it forward. Ooh, man, that's a good one. This is my favorite stretch in the world. Here, you're gonna sit here for a while. We're trying to do some tissue creep here. So I sit like this, 3, 5, 7 minutes a leg. This is something I do after I work out, right? This is crazy long to warm up with. This is something I do after a workout, after I'm already warm. Sit on the box with a bunch of weights and just let it creep. I can feel this stretch all the way down the back of my leg into the sole of my foot. Feel it around the medial malleolus as well. Just a massive, massive stretch. And like I said, I'll sit here for 3 to 5 minutes per leg, just getting some nice soft tissue stretch there through the calf. So my all-time favorite mobility thing for the ankle, for me, it's the one I feel the most. A lot of other stretches and mobilizations I don't really feel, but this is the one I feel the most. So this is my favorite. If you haven't tried this one before, try it. It's a very interesting stretch, very deep stretch. All right. So now, number 5, we're going to do some banded mobility stuff. So you guys have probably seen this before, right? You're going to put the band around the anterior part of the ankle and kind of rock forward into closed chain dorsiflexion. The key here, the thing I see messed up the most, is that people kind of rock back and forth and they're activating tibialis anterior and that tendon is popping out, right? And it's throwing off the band's pull on your ankle. So make sure if you rock back and forth in and out of this one, you're not activating tib anterior. You're just kind of throwing your body weight over your knee, rocking back and forth. I'm going to use my right ankle. I have a crazy rope burn on my left ankle from yesterday's workout. So loop that. Loop that band right around the front part of the ankle without letting that heel come up. Now if you want to rock, sink your body weight in here. Don't actively contract tib anterior. You can feel that tendon pop up, and now the band is shifting on my ankle. So if you do rock, sink your body weight in, feel that stretch. You can come out of it, go back in. I like to combine a modification of the plate stretch with this one too. So I'll just take that heavy kettlebell, throw it on my knee, and let that kettlebell add in that soft tissue stretch as the band provides that distraction down to the ankle. And here we can play with the angle too. We can go straight over the toes, we can go medial to the toes and sink in, or we can do a lateral glide here and come out away from the toes laterally. So I like to combine a lot of these different ankle things together. Helps a lot more than just sitting with some plates on your knee or sitting with the band around your ankle. If you combine some of these together, you can get a lot more change down at the ankle. All right, that was number 5. Number 6 is something we show in the fitness athlete side. So we're going to do a lateral tibial glide, a self-mobilization. So for those folks who need to do it in the gym or those who just don't have access to you as a PT, showing them a self-lateral glide can help with ankle mobility a lot and allow them to do it themselves. So throw your foot up on the box, stabilize your own forefoot with the opposite hand, so the contralateral hand. Keep that nice and stable, and then take your ipsilateral hand and then drive your knee out and away, not letting any part of your forefoot to move or your heel to come up. Here's some nice clicks and pops in here, and then you feel a nice stretch kind of down the medial arch, down to the sole of the foot, to kind of deepen the ankle too. Again, just like the other ones, if you rock this, try not to activate tibialis anterior, right? Make sure you can keep a good purchase on the forefoot there. So that's a self-lateral tibial mobilization. I like that one too. That's one a lot of folks just don't know about. Something that can help clear up their dorsiflexion a lot. So those are 6 different techniques. We talked about the pails and rails. We talked about the eccentric calf raises. We talked about the goblet squat. We talked about the plate stretch, heavy plate stretch on a low box. We talked about the lateral tibial self-glide, and we talked about the band immobilizations and kind of combining a lot of those different things. The last thing I want to talk about are a couple different options for your folks who may need some dynamic dorsiflexion. These don't work for me. They're not enough of a lift, but these are called Versa lifts. What they are 3 layers of 1/8 of an inch neoprene. They slide in kind of like a heel cup almost. They slide in the heel of the shoe, give you a little boost, slacken that tendon, let you get a little bit more dorsiflexion. Good for running, good for working out. Some folks can get away with these. It's enough of a lift to let them get the dorsiflexion they need. This doesn't work for me. It's not enough of a lift, so I don't use these, but these are about 20 bucks. We sell them here at the gym. You can buy them on the internet right from Versa Lifts. The cool thing is that they're 3 1/8 of an inch layers, so as the person works on their dorsiflexion and gets more, they can peel those layers off, down, down, down until they're done and they're just in regular shoes. Somebody like me, when we're doing a lot of squatting, I need these. So these are Olympic lifters. Obviously you can't run in these, you can't do kind of a traditional most CrossFit workouts in these, but somebody that is just needing to improve their squat pattern, especially during heavier lifts. They want to train that full range of motion like me during heavy days. Then Olympic lifters are an option too, kind of expensive, but I won't take the time to throw these on. It takes forever, but my squat improves significantly with that huge amount of lift there, slackening my tendon that much, giving me that much more dorsiflexion. My squat improves a lot. I normally have trouble hitting parallel without these on, but with these on, no problem. So highly recommend these for those folks who need more dynamic dorsiflexion during their movements, especially if they're going to be standing in one place doing some sort of squat or Olympic weightlifting. So don't discount these as well, although the Versa lifts are a lot more dynamic because you can slide them in any shoe and run and do regular workouts in. So if somebody can get away with Versa lifts, then highly recommend that they try out the Versa lifts, especially because they're so cheap. Just try them out for 20 bucks or so and see if they notice a difference. So that's all I've got. Kept it pretty close to on time. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. I am going to do a quick Metcon here and then head out for some family stuff. Try those mobilizations out. Sorry if you're listening to the podcast. This episode is completely worthless for you. You can't see any of this. Next chance to catch us, we're taking a break for the holidays. Justin will be in Hackensack January 5th and 6th for Total Spine Thrust. The next chance to catch us over on the fitness athlete side is January 7th for Essential Foundations, 8 weeks online with Mitch and myself. January 20th, Advanced Concepts online with Mitch and Zach. And then catch us live January 12th and 13th. Mitch and I will be up in Minneapolis. Zach will be down in Charlotte. And then Jeff will be in Victoria, British Columbia, up there in Canada on January 26th and 27th at AMP Physio. So that's what's coming up in January. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas. I might be back next Tuesday. I didn't see anybody sign up for next Tuesday's schedule. So I might be back next Tuesday, but if I don't see you, Happy New Year as well. Have some safe and happy holidays. Enjoy your time with friends and family. Bye, guys.